This video was digitized from a reel of silent 8mm film. Just a great look at a U.S. Air Force nurse by the name of Lieutenant LeElla Moore, and she went by the name of Lee. And you can see we start off here with the 6,481st Medical Air Evac Group, and this is in Japan. In 1954, the film ends in 1955, and you'll see here at the beginning in 1954 they're flying medical evacuations from Korea to Japan, and then the film goes on to show Lieutenant Moore leaving Japan and heading to Seattle on the General Simon B. Buckner TAP 123. And yeah, just coming up here, you'll see some medical evacuations from Korea, and I'm not too sure who these two ladies are. I don't think they're Lieutenant Moore. I'll have some still pictures at the end of this with some pictures of her in Korea, and that's a C-47 right there. And then the last slide is actually two pictures of her, so you'll get a nice shot of her as the film ends here. And this right here is a C-54, and then behind the C-54 is a C-124A Globemaster. Yeah, and that's a C-119 boxcar they're taxiing. Lieutenant Moore really had a pretty interesting career here, and these airmen right here are coming out of a building marked 6,481st Med Evac, and I think right now they are in Korea, and you'll see here they're going to start loading up some patients as they're medevaced from Korea. But actually, Lieutenant Moore made the papers in January of 1954. And here you could see them loading up some soldiers here from Korea. And I'll read you this article from the Orlando Sentinel newspaper, and it's talking about Formosa. The headline is Formosa welcomes first anti-red POWs, and it's from Taipei. And they're talking about Taiwan here. And it says, popping firecrackers, blaring bands, and cheering surging crowds last night greeted the first arrivals among 14,000 former Chinese Red soldiers who refused to return to communism after being captured during the Korean War. A U.S. Air Force C-54 flew in 29 stretcher cases, the vanguard of the thousands of Chinese who have switched allegiance in favor of Chiang Kai-shek's nationalists, bitter foes of the Reds. Chiang's daughter-in-law was among those on hand for the official greeting. Later, 4 C-46s landed with sick and wounded repatriates, bringing yesterday's arrivals to 111. A C-54 with 31 more stopped overnight at Okinawa. The bulk of the 14,000 neared freedom on this nationalist stronghold aboard 15 landing ships which sailed from Incheon, Korea, under escort of U.S. Navy ships. With 2 American flight nurses aboard, a C-54 Skymaster brought in the first batch of liberated anti-Reds at dusk. An obscure enlisted man, Yang Ming Cheng, 28, of Rongnan in Red China's Sichuan province, had the distinction of being the first man of the 14,000 to debark on Formosan soil. In the airport crowd was Miss Chang Ching-kyo, President Chang's Russian-born daughter-in-law, O.K. Yui, Formosa's governor, and Wu San-lin, Taipei's mayor. The crowd held aloft banners bearing such inscriptions as "Welcome Anti-Communist Heroes." The throng surged towards the taxiing C-54, giving nationalist Air Force police a hard time. Newsreel and still cameramen climbed on roofs and waiting ambulances to film unloading of the stretcher cases. First out of the plane were the flight nurses, Lieutenant LeElla Moore of Mount Willing, Alabama, and Captain Edith M. Bond of Panama City, Florida. So yeah, I thought that was just a very, very fitting bit to this film work. And as you can see, this is them embarking on their trip on the USNS General Simon B. Buckner TAP 123 to Seattle. I think those people just going down the gangway there were just debarking from the vessel before it sailed, and then you'll see all the fanfare here as the ship leaves Japan. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this great look at Air Force Lieutenant LeElla Moore in her time in Japan and in Korea in 1954 and 1955. hope you enjoyed this bit of history. Try to upload military and patriotic videos to my site here, about every other day. And if you're interested in a good read, check out my books at www.edsemler.com.